Thank you so much for staying tuned. Welcome to TMI. If you're just tuning in, Christmas edition. Like what I said before, Christmas is not a do or die affair. Please, let's all know that whatever you have to celebrate with, celebrate for the reason behind the season. Well, it's all about taking stock of the year 2022. We want to focus on the economy. I know they have one or two things to say about the political activities, but now the economic activities is what to take a look at. With me here in the studio, he is, he was a one-time chairman of Ovia Southwest local government area. He was also president of Congo's, right? He was also, in fact, so many things about activism is embroidered in it, and he's still very much in it. Political analyst. Join me to welcome Honorable Destiny in Nabulele. Welcome to TMI. So
yeah, my pleasure to be here this morning.
Appreciate your coming.
Good morning, viewers, and Merry Christmas.
All right. As I very close to him, a very vibrant youth, an articulate youth, a political analyst, a human rights activist, a political analyst. Join me to welcome Ojo in Mafido. Welcome to TMI.
Good morning, Wilson.
All right.
And Merry Christmas to you listening to my listeners out there.
All right. Now, I like this man so much. He's a brother indeed. Seriously, you may not understand. Join me to welcome Festus Eki, a political analyst, political affairs commentator, human rights activist, and of course a vibrant politician. They're all politicians here. Festus, welcome to TMI.
Good morning, Winston.
I appreciate your coming.
Good morning, viewers.
All
Merry
right.
Christmas.
All right. Now, I want to give honor to honor is due. It's due to everyone, right? But let's start from former head of a local government, okay? Because he's been there, he's seen it, he's tasted it, and of course, he has a lot to say about the year 2022. Taking a look at the economic activities. What do you feel about it?
Yeah, Winston, let me first of all appreciate you and thank the management of ITV for this discourse. At a day like this, a day of merriment, a day of celebration. But it is quite saddening that the issue before us has been the one of a year characterized with a lot of roller coaster and tough for the average Nigerian when it comes to economy. You agree with me, you cannot do anything. He's talking about economy without the security. Because of the level of insecurity in our land, our economic activities has been the one of a very sad commentary. Very sad. Today is not a day to raise voice. It's quite sad. If you look back, if you try to project the future, with this present administration, you agree with me that it's like raising the dead.
Raising the dead.
Exactly, because look at all the indices. As you speak very just now, you agree with me that according to the national statistics, that over 130 million Nigerians are back to poverty, an abject one. So for me, it's not figures cooked in Ovia Southwest. It is by the national statistics. So for me, it's quite sad. Not only that, if you equally look back, you will see the Jackpot syndrome. There's the Jackpot syndrome of able-bodied youths that can add value to the system, especially in the health sector. That's to tell you that the Nigerian future is quite not pleasing, and if not addressed now, even you and I that is sitting before the public might decide to adopt the Jackpot syndrome.
Everyone wants to jackpot.
So that is it. Oh, for me, you can see the way I'm talking because it is in a sober reflection. Yes, because it has not been this bad. Yes, all my life I've celebrated Christmas in Nigeria. All my life, over 40 years now, in Nigeria. In my village, to be very precise, in Gobazo, in Ovia Southwest. So the level of hunger, the level of, I don't know, it's not as if the basics are no longer there. So for me, even the environment to celebrate it is suspicious. if you see a guy or a man standing before you, you are suspicious of that person, because you don't know who the person is. So for me, I think it's time for us to have, yeah, good, celebrate, but it's time for us to have an in-depth sober reflection.
All right.
I'm coming. If you go around, I drove around the city, went to the village, and what I saw, it is very, 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 it is far, far from what we've been experiencing. The hunger. I wouldn't want to, let me leave it here for now.
Okay.
It is quiet, but I want to appeal. Today is a day of sober reflection for us.
All right, because you're really sounding so sober right now.
Yes.
Ojoy Mafido, do you share his views on the thing? Because I was zooming in on the economic activities of the year 2022. You said you cannot talk about economy without talking about security.
Of course.
Take it up from there.
Well, I agree with what he said, and a lot of people, I know a lot of people who championed the Say Baba mantra in 2015. I know a lot of them are regretting now. They've seen the negative impact of what a NEPA bill certificate holder can do to an economy of a country. And like what my brother said just now, this really calls for a sober reflection. We are supposed to be celebrating, but what the present government has put us into right now in Nigeria is, there's nothing really going on right now. It's as if, I was talking to someone just now before I go to ITV, and the person was like telling me, this is why I don't like anytime it's Christmas, anytime any Christmas that falls on Sunday is always very dull and somehow. I said no, it's not because today is Sunday. There's no money in town, and the year 2022, nothing really happened. Let's say at least, even if the present government, let's say if we're even complaining, like, oh, they nothing happened in maybe in this part, maybe in the in economy, maybe we'll say, okay, the security part, they really tried in this aspect. Nothing. We can see what the IPOB people are doing in the southeast right now. I don't even know if those people in the southeast will celebrate Christmas. Before now, during Christmas period, you see all the Easterners flying back to their region to celebrate Christmas. But many of them, because of the insecurity in the southeast, many of them they are still in the state where they reside right now. And let's say maybe in the north, we'll see how Boko Harams and all those what they call the bandits, they are ravaging the north right now. So for now, I just hope and pray Nigerians will wake up and they will think deep, because right now election is around the corner, and we should wake up and elect somebody who can revive revive Nigeria right now.
All right. This sober mood. Okay, Festus, over to you right now.
I don't think I'm too in a sober mood for a lot of reasons. We're in a country where everybody sees the government of the day to be bad, whereas we are bad as well. You see, I have a lot of friends overseas that will tell you, Christmas is coming, I don't have anything, but neighbors are taking care of me. You have NGOs taking care of people, you have churches, even the mosque. Nigeria is a very great country, but not until we identify our problem starting from individual basics, there's going to be a lot of problems. A governor of a state that has failed woefully will stand up and tell you the president is bad. Then you not ask the governor, what have you done for your state? You are accusing the president of being bad. You are the #1 citizen of your state. What are the developmental indices you've given to your state? We're in Edo State today where a bag of rice is within 45 to 50,000. There are states where you buy it less than 30,000, 35,000. Then you're not beginning to ask a question, are we in the same country? So while we're accusing the president of taking us to this place economically, we should check other areas. The Third Niger Bridge today is accessible. We have a revamped electoral act that is going to lead us to Eldorado if possible. Then there are a lot of things we're going to look to and say, President Buhari, why we think you have done less in some areas, you've done well in some areas. Going back to the state level, today we are buying fuel in Edo State, 270, 280, 250. Some states don't buy like that. So what is the governor of this state doing about it? You go, you have a local government office where you go complain about some local issues. They tell you, it not concern us now. You don't expect the president to come to the road to work some things for us. You stand up in the morning and you just see a man woke up and tell you this thing is 50 naira. This thing that was bought 30 naira yesterday. Because he's the only person having this thing, the man is going to start selling it for 50 naira. 30 to 50 naira. That's 20 naira increment. Nobody will talk. We are adjusting because we think we don't want to talk. Recently, you see that EFCC will go into house and see bags stuck with money. This is not government. We are talking about people that have money that they don't want to use it. They are not giving it to their neighbors. So if Nigeria will be a better place, if the Jagba syndrome will not be on our head, let those that have give to those that don't have. Take care of your neighbors. You see some people, they go to church, they chat and they are happy. But what does the Bible say? Before you begin to think of God, have you thought about your neighbor? Have you given rice to that man in your street that couldn't buy rice? There are people that can take care of 10 families, but they won't do it. They will tell you, no, and I may be government. But you go to other countries, the mentality is simple. I'm okay. I don't need much. My neighbor should also be okay. But yeah, what we'll do is we'll blame government for everything. Those money that was seen in Asaba the other day, you saw them on sack. Was that one kept by the government? We are saying there is no money in Nigeria. Brother, there is money in this country. People still pack into their new houses this year. People still bought car or go to Kara. But the problem we're having is not just the government alone, individual basis, corporate organizations. I was talking with a friend the other day, and he said something. Bro, do you know banks are making money? And what is the salary of a banker? If you start banking work for the next 10 years, they are going to drain you. If you are not careful, you are going to contract some innings. But at the end of the day, what is your salary? That's not government. So corporate bodies, corporate associations, NGOs, individual basis, let us wake up to the call. This is my brother. You cannot, you cannot declare a net profit of 1 billion. And there are people working on that that receive less than 100,000, and you are happy.
All right, I will come back to you. You heard him. He said it's not only the president. Talking about issues where we got to see.
Let me quickly.
Bags, sacks of money in houses, not the government.
Yeah, I understand is because of the day. Because of the day, I'll try to be very. I understand, but be that as it may.
Yes.
Let me remind him there's something like Third Niger Bridge or something.
Okay, second Niger Bridge. You build a bridge, the second Niger Bridge. Yes.
See, we are talking to the public. We are not trying to situate. We are not blaming any government. We are trying to.
Yeah. Situate.
Yes. We are trying to situate something here. If you look at it, I have been a local government chairman. If last year, say, I can reach out to 200, and this year it is in a geometric progression, that's a cause for concern. That's where I'm looking at it from. It should have reduced. Yeah. That's my point. I'm not saying the SY0. That is just my fear. I said something just now. If the National Bureau of Statistics says that about 130-something million Nigerians are neck deep in poverty, what that tells us? And the inflation rate is above 21%. What does that tell us? That's the point. See, it is time for us to work collectively. Let's leave whether you belong to party A or party B. Yes. It will take us to the Eldorado. It will not. Let's work collectively. You see, our problem here we're seeing is this, that as a nation, we've abandoned the critical aspect of a nation that take the nation out of its woes. That is the education. You know, I keep on saying it a day in, day out. You know, education is very critical to any nation to leave its woes. I'll cite two nations, for instance. like China and India. India is known for medicine. The China is known for technology. They are taking over the globe. They are producing for other nations of the world because they harness the critical mass, which is the youth, neck deep in technology, educate them to produce and to manufacture. What do we have in this country? Just to read and write, the one we inherited from our colonial masters, because to interpret their language to our community people. That is exactly what we are still adopting at the 21st century. What technology, as we are talking now, they are watching it in Canada and all over the world. And you still want to adopt that very archaic way of doing things, that hold and cutlass of doing things. It's not going to take us anywhere. We must sit back as a nation. We must invest in education. We must invest in medicine. And today, just as I rightly said, over 10,000 Nigerians, health workers, they have jackpot this country. And you said, Lord is well with us. My brother, you will have to wake up. Not only you, all of us. Otherwise, our children will ask us some very questions that we cannot answer. And if care is not taking, you and another is talking here, maybe this time next year, we will adopt the jackpot syndrome. That is it. We must see. Let's call it spade. It's never a garden fork. Yes, good and fine. The buck stops at the president's table, whether you like it or not. There's no presidential system in this country. There's none. We must be very frank. All nations, go to the United States of America, one of the biggest airports is controlled by a local government. What does the local government control? That's the point. We must devolve power. See, every crime is local. In trying to address, we must give power to the local government, to the local people, to the community people. In my community, we all know, you know your neighbor. If a stranger steps into your community, that minute you know this person is a stranger. But in the cities, they are not like that. That's exactly what we need to adopt. Yeah. Bringing a man from Castina to come and become a security this thing in my local government is not going to work. They must work with the people. You see, you've raised issues that people need to, yes. In our little way, we have in our little way reach out to those that cannot really afford it. But my brother, you know where you live, that compared today with last year Christmas, my brother, it's not a uhuru. You don't understand the point. You understand what I'm saying? So we're just trying to be factual here. Right. That's just the point. Right. That is why for me, I fell in love with when I was driving to my local government yesterday, when I drove past the secretary to the state government, when I saw what he was doing. It was massive. If all of us should adopt that measure in reaching out, I think the government will have a lesser burden. And again, we're saying, you see, over the years, us collectively, we have abandoned some of our duties to the government. I can remember very vividly when I was growing up. Government has a very, there's areas that government needs to tackle. Even the one that we're supposed to tackle by individuals. We not say it is government work. Government should. And very soon you will see government will have to bring up money and be marrying wives for those that want to marry. Okay. It's getting. So we need to.
In the north, they know.
Yes. Over that to you, Mafindo. He said things are not what they used to be trying to assess the year 2022 economic activities. He's saying that, look, it's about everyone, but the buck stops at the president's table.
Yes, because he's the commander-in-chief of the...
And don't forget the president also complained about the governors.
No, that's what I'm saying. You know, like I said just now, I said a lot of people are still regretting now because of the mistake they made in 2015. And some of them have retraced their steps, while some, they still have this emotional...
emotional ego.
Yeah, so they are still supporting their own candidate who they know will still, in fact, it's going to, maybe this present government will even be better.
God forbid.
Okay, so...
you were quick to say God forbid.
God forbid.
Okay,
God forbid.
So what I'm saying is, you know, this government has really messed up big time.
You know, if you say messed up, it's quite severe because you're generalizing, not in all aspects.
Like what my friend,
not in all aspects, please, let's be guarded.
Like what my friend said, that in the United States, and I don't know if he has been there, that in the United States and some other countries, that individuals normally do reach out to
people. Yes, it's true. It's true.
But do you know, if our government, for example, if there are jobs in this country, if they created jobs, because what the government normally, what they have to do, I'm not saying the government are supposed to be sharing bag of rice and all that. They should create enabling environment. And let me tell you, 2002 is because of this election. By next year, because the president has already, or should I say, the presidency, because I don't know the difference anymore. They've already said they will remove subsidy next year. So we should be expecting by next year, after the election, fuel might go up to, let's say, 300 naira per liter. So, but my brother said that some states, that like in those states, fuel is 270 naira. And what is it? Yeah, I bought this morning 270 naira. What is the governor doing about it? These are investors. The governor cannot just come up and, I don't know, because they've deregulated the downstream sector. So those marketers, they have right to even sell it, because like what my friend said, that everything boils down to the president. I don't know if you understand. So for now, security-wise, in all ramifications right now, in 2022, there's nowhere we can say, this government has really tried. He made mention of second Niger bridge. That's their responsibility. Let me start from there.
Because if you say
somebody is doing his job.
Hold on. If you say the government hasn't tried in any aspect, it may be unfair.
The second Niger bridge, do you know, it's not even the federal. That was even awarded during Jonathan. They started it during Jonathan, and it's not even the federal government that is even spending money on that bridge. Do you know that?
Okay. Hold on now. Hold on, because
now he said in some states that rice.
35,000.
In Edo State, rice is 45,000.
45 to 50,000.
But when they came in, they said we should be happy that they said now the rice farmers, they are all rich. I don't think we have a rice farm here in Edo State. So you can't expect a farmer, maybe in a state where they produce the rice, to be in the same price with what we'll say here in Edo State, because transportation will definitely come in. I don't know if you understand. And where's the problem coming from? Do you know how much for diesel right now? These people will have to bring those goods to Benin City to
okay,
sell.
you just hold on now. Now, the point of correction, talking about the second Niger bridge, this administration also contributed massively to the Niger bridge construction, okay? Now, he talked about disparity in prices of goods and commodities across states. He made a good point in that, because if you go to Enugu State, you go to Ibadan, the price differs. Like what he said, it rests on the table of Mr. President. So all of you are making good points here, but take it up from there. Mr. President is at the center of it all. What do you feel about this?
Why we are accusing the president, which I will also accuse him for not meeting up to his duties.
Yes.
As a man we've given a vote for, he ought to have given us a good work. Let me come back to what I said about the states.
Oh, but you just hold on. Before you come down to the States, you want to go for a break. When we return, we will continue from where he stopped. When we return, you continue with the points you're trying to make. Don't forget it's a banter between the presidency and, of course, the governors, all about the economy. But you can really tell that Nigerians, they are really, really having serious thoughts, especially this Christmas period. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
TMI, every opinion counts.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI this morning on ITV. It's all about taking stock of the year 2022. We're taking a look at economic activities, and my panelists, they've not been so happy about what is happening economically. One said you cannot talk about economy, not talking about security, and I say most of the bulk stops at the table of Mr. President. But one differs, saying the governors also and every individual in Nigeria are responsible for what we're passing through economically. Festus, we're with you. Go ahead, make a point.
So I was trying to tell us how the governors have taken this country backward. While the president is doing his own, we should also take a searchlight to all governors. Let's come back home. As a state, what has the governors done for us? There is no more they don't receive monthly allocation from the federal government, outside the IGROs. What you hear is noise up and down, no development. The governor, as the number one city of the state, ought to be at alert. These products ought to have go for 187 to 200. Now they are selling above. Ought to be 200 to 220. Now they are selling above. Let's swing it to action. My people must not suffer. They just think the president needs to be here. No, the president cannot be everywhere. And as a nation, as a people, at times we should wake up to ask some of those ministers that were appointed from the state. Let me just, those SARs that we are now, there is someone that is a minister who we don't even see. I think the man is always in Abuja. Whenever he's in Benin, hide within Oredo, we don't feel the effect. The other day I said the president cannot be in Abuja and be in Benin, cannot be in Abuja and be in Lagos. But as a minister, you ought to have relayed some information to the president. Then as a governor, they should mount pressure on the president, not when they want to share money. If they want to share excess crude funds, then they are going to mount pressure. The president says no, they go to court. If they are going to fight for their rights, something that will affect them immediately, that is of use to them as a governor, as governors collectively, they're going to start prioritizing the president to do one or two for them. But when it comes to things that affect their citizens, they don't bother. When we are shouting in Benin, the president may not hear us. But whenever they go for federal executive meeting, when they're in the council meeting, they should be able to stand up and speak to the president. The president, this is what we are passing through in this country. In my state, rice is 35,000. They don't tell you in my state is 45,000. Then why is it like this? Let's make a move to see how we can bring down the prices of goods. But you see, these governors, they don't bother. Some receive money, we don't even know they receive money. It took Wike to start shouting, ask your governors, I am building projects, I am celebrating projects, because I am using the money that was given to me. But some governors pick that money and nothing to show for it. Right. A state governor will tell you, what is the president doing with this federal allocation? Every year they come with budget. Is there a state that don't give budget at the end of the year? I guess they've all submitted their budget of next year to the state assembly. Has there been a state that's giving accountability? No. So why the president is failing? Some states, not all, are failing also. So we shouldn't just look at it and say, president, no. If we are doing that, meaning we don't want this country to wake up.
All right. I'll come back to you first. So you heard me talking
about
let me quickly, IGRO
let me quickly, just as I rightly said, yes. I said today is for me a day of sober reflection. I really want to, I understand the fear of my friend. You see, when you are talking, it was in this country that the Minister for Petroleum, the junior minister, of which the president is the senior minister, as we speak very just now, the 4 or the 3 refineries in these countries, they are not working. And the minister told us categorically, that's, what's his name, Sylvia, that by December, that the Port Harcourt refinery will start producing, will start refining. I don't think, maybe we are in January now. We are not yet in December. My friend, you see, just as I rightly said, I said all of us, we must work together collectively. This present governor of this state, in terms of accountability, is there. The World Bank has given to him. He's accountable to the funds he received. You said something. He
never mentioned a particular governor. He said governors.
I'm just trying to exonerate my own because he said some. I'm just trying to. He has been in this state. He has not traveled out of this state or rather out of this country. He's aware of what is happening. The issue of Wike, Mr. Wilson, I produce oil. You've taken the oil from the resources from this. You are not giving me 13% out of 100%. You have no moral justification to question. You see, there is a lacuna in the constitutional, in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Until we address those lacunas, we'll still remain where we are. We'll be here. We must, I use the word, we must work together collectively. Underline. This game blame is not going to take us anywhere. It's not going to take us out. If care is not taken, just as I rightly said, all of us here will now absorb the syndrome of Japa. God forbid. You see, he said something. My friend said something, and I said, God forbid. We cannot have another Baba will not wear. it's not going to happen to us in this country. It's all over the world. Buoyant economy, they have young, vibrant, with a lot of energy, driving the economy. Just assume I'm the president of this country. By 1 a.m., I'll be on my facing my laptop, be doing it, dishing out orders. Rather than a man that is shaking the hand, shaking the leg. By 7, I say, Daddy, go and sleep. So playing with the grandchildren, you have to have mind to discuss.
Don't forget that Joe Biden is 80. That's U.S. president.
That is U.S. president. They are
the greatest country in the world.
Hold on. You just started. They are practicing true federalism. The major bulk of the work is not in the center. I said it just now. I said one of the biggest international airport in the world is managed by a local government. But today, what do you have in this country? Even as we are talking here, it's managed by the federal government. If it's not taken, they will come and tell us that we will breach your broadcasting code. It's as bad as that. We must devolve power. Until that, we will still be rigmaroling. 1 leg up, 3 legs backward. God forbid. So we must address it. I never wanted to be in this tone because for me, from what I have seen, it's a sober reflection for me, and I need to sit back and look at it because by the special grace of God, I'm contesting for House of Assembly.
Hold on.
Whether you like it or not, it's not a hold on. It's not an advert.
Destiny.
I'm driving somewhere.
There is a reason why I keep putting my foot on the ground because if I'm subcharged, I'll be subcharged for that. Also, don't forget, these are the place, a platform to campaign.
It's not a campaign.
Not the rudiments.
That's how I was trying to. No, I said it.
Let's not breach it.
Yeah, listen. I told my friend. I said we are not yet for campaign.
So please don't
I
go
will
there.
try to, in my very sober mood, address the people. My friend now is trying to bring out the activism and the campaign in me.
Honorable, you are no longer an activist for now. Calm down. I'll come back to you. Come on, you know the right rudiment. Not here, not now. I'll come back to you. He has said a lot. He has mentioned a lot. How do we get out of this place? Because people are saying that it is not by age. Take a look at the U.S. president is 80. A granddad is still doing his job effectively.
He's not doing his job effectively. Americans are complaining. Many Americans want Trump back.
And how old is Trump?
No, but Trump is younger.
Okay, let's continue from
now. Like what my brother said, he said these governors, they give them allocations and all that. Do you know most of those states, the allocations they receive from the federal government is not after they've paid salaries, the money is very small for them to really work.
Do you know how much governors receive from the federal allocation?
How much?
And security votes added to rate?
How much is it?
Continue from there, please.
So now, what we are still saying here, we are not saying Buhari, we are not saying this present government because we all voted them in. But sometimes we live here in Nigeria. When something is bad, we have to say it out. We don't need to sugarcoat it because I'm supporting this party. So no matter what, I have to support them with every blood in me. When they are not doing fine, that's why democracy. That's the beauty of democracy. So because sometimes when we are all complaining, because right now I don't think my brother here, I don't think he's buying fuel for 187 naira. Maybe when he shows them his party card. So we are all in this together. So we are looking for ways that we can come out from this problem we've put ourselves in. Because at that time, when some of us were looking at these people coming in, then they promised heaven and earth. They promised how they were going to be paying 5,000 naira to the unemployed.
Yes.
Okay, right now we are in Christmas, we are in December right now, so why they not? I'm supposed to have received my 5,000 naira now, but those things didn't happen.
Are you less privileged? Are you less Ojo?
No.
Don't make me face you this morning. Are you less privileged?
Let me quickly remind my friend.
Yeah.
Are you aware it's only Edo State that is paying above the national minimum wage?
Yeah. No,
as at 16th, the state governors, our governor has paid the salary of workers. As at 16th,
it's on record.
There are even some states that are still battling with
salaries.
Even to implement the 30,000 naira. So for me, the Wike you are talking about.
Wike was talking about that. Wike said, I've done this.
I don't want to join issue. There is time for that.
The easiest way to steal money in government is by building roads.
Okay, over to you now, Festus. You heard that. It's your turn to react.
My honorable sir, my excellency, sir.
Yeah, I'm not
excellency. No, let me give you all those accolades.
No, I don't.
Talk about
I'm destiny.
What we see in the state. See, bro, let's be frank and sincere. The president, from the scale of 1 to 10, when I put him on scale 3, 4, no, I'm coming, sir.
He said it's too
Scale
much.
3, 4. The reason why I said that is because we are going to bring out 10 critical areas in the country, sectors by sector. We might mark 1, 2, 3, 60%. 1, 2, 3. The rest 7 might be less than 40%. Now let's come back to our state, our dear state, EDO. Scale 1 to 10. The governor will also be within 1, 2, 3, 4.
God forbid.
Now, let me start with education. No. By the special grace of God, I am an educationist. When they started with the Edo Best, I came out and I told a lot of persons, Edo Best is going to come and do nothing. They said no. And I told a lot of friends that, do you know what are the impact of a teacher in teaching and learning process? As a teacher, if my impact is not fair, it's useless. I did my own research and I dropped them. A year, 2 years later, 3 years later, what as the result of my research began to come up. Where you go to some villages, I'm coming, sir. All right. They'll tell you my past is not working.
Gentlemen, hold on.
That's a wrong assumption. Let me quickly say this.
Gentlemen,
let me quickly say this.
Honorable Destiny, please hold on.
Let me quickly say this.
This is not Bagabogo. This is not activism.
I'm not in that mood today. I'm not in the mood today.
The governor
I'm not in the mood today.
They are alike.
Okay, hold on.
I'm not in the mood
They are
today.
both failing us.
Gentlemen, hold on. Gentlemen, you have your views, you have your opinions.
Let me say one thing.
I wouldn't want both of you to start
No,
doing
we are not doing that.
Because that's what this is. Today
is Christmas.
Today is Christmas. For that reason, I'm going to create another opportunity for to come.
No, I need to say something before I leave.
All right, 1 minute each.
Okay.
1 minute each because our time is up.
Let me quickly say this. There is something scrolling on your TV.
1 minute.
That the AIG is appealing to the Easterners that the eastern part of this country is safe for Christmas.
Okay.
You see, there's a saying in my very rich Benin language. There is nothing meaningful in an atmosphere of rancor. Nothing. Okay. That will tell you that whether from scale 10 to this thing, this present administration in the national, they've scored 0.
If you say 0, that's harsh.
It's not harsh.
Many will not agree to that.
Everything is anchored on security.
Hold on.
For the state.
Do you know? Yes. Like you made mention of the second Niger bridge.
1 minute.
I'm coming. So,
yes.
If you're talking about the second Niger bridge, I told you, Jonathan started it, and you know that second Niger bridge is there will be all the people passing through that road. They will be paying for it. They have toll gate there, right? The federal government borrowed money to do railway straight to Niger Republic. There's no toll gate for that; it's free. So if you're talking about the Buhari this present government has failed, and let me tell you, the people complaining about the government, the governor. They won't tell you he's corrupt. Majority of them will tell you he's too stingy.
Thank you so much. If you use the word Femepo also, we have a serious issue with us. Some people, yes, so many other.
The reason they hate him is
Festus, over to you now. 1 minute. Festus, quickly.
When a memorandum of understanding,
yes,
Your Excellency, sir, when a memorandum, I will call you like that. When a memorandum of understanding produce nothing, it shows how failed, woefully that person has become.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Don't allow your political inclination to cloud
Honorable Destiny, thank you so
objective
much.
sense of reasoning.
Ojo, Comrade Ojo, thank you so much. Fellow, thank you so much. They have their own views and opinions.